Hi, welcome back to our podcast. My name is Smiti Maiti,
My name is Aryan Pandey.
and today we are going to talk about how storytelling in marketing works and why facts don't sell but stories do.
Smriti, I think this is one of the very pivotal aspect for any brand and how they build from here
Yeah.
to make an impression among people and the target audience that they want to put their brand into the minds of. I think this podcast will take the audience into the wider scope of how brands see people and their customers and how they target them. And I think we'll enjoy this conversation a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And today we are not going to talk as marketers, but definitely we are going to talk like customers, like how we choose a brand, like how we decide that this is my favorite brand.
Very true, Smriti. Considering the fact that we are the very customers that they want to,
Target.
position their brand into, because we lie in the range of 20 to 25, and considering our age, we have enough sense, as in to picturize the brand and how they want the purpose to be served, right? Because we have the understanding of what's good or what's bad, and we also know if they are actually uh, making stories just to sell the product or if they actually mean it.
Yeah, and I also believe that there are so many brands who try to, sell their products by making big advertisements and, doing so much cost in the advertisements.
True.
But I believe that it's not about the best ad, but it's about how your brand is communicating to the customers, because customers are not ultimately buying your products, but it is definitely buying the stories, the way they connect with your brand. Like, for that matter, I would say Nike, Maggie, and I think
Coke as well.
Coca-Cola as well, because
Yeah.
they have an idea from the very beginning that they are just not selling the products, but they are trying to sell the emotions. Can you talk about Coca-Cola?
Look, I mean, if we take the examples of these big brands as in Coke, Maggie, Nike, look, I mean, we know at this point their stature is exorbitantly huge, right? But human mind work emotionally, considering the
True,
fact that
true.
we live in the times of AI, but our mind does not work like spreadsheets, right? We have the scope to understand and take things very emotionally and just buy a bond with them, right? And that is how the entire process is. And once that we feel the connection to, then we buy the product and then we actually sense what they want to serve, right? For example, if we see Nike, so they have this slogan or the title that just do it,
Just
right?
do it.
But the fact that until you buy it, you would never know the essence of it. It's only when you buy, the comfort factor, every aspect that they want athlete to consider for any sport, in that matter, be it tennis, football, because they serve into the range of wider sports as well. And again, Coke as well. Coke serve happiness, right? So this happiness factor is what lean customer into a thought of, okay, we'll just buy it. And we also saw these videos of the ads where they test their products, where they just free sell it, and you just see how random people connect with themselves and then they make bond. So these factors seem very timid, but into the wider scope, how it builds the brand, and it works in the back end. This factor is very important because in the front end your stats and numbers work, but in the back end this emotional factor and the connect is what is the make or break thing.
So whenever it comes to a complete remembrance or the recall, I would say, then I always have this idea of Coca-Cola. Why, I would say, there are so many brands who are selling soft drinks, right? But
True.
whenever it comes to buying a product, we always have ki nahi, Coca-Cola we need to buy. It's only because of the way they have done their ad campaigns, or maybe the kind of storytelling that they have done. It's all about the emotions. Like, they have played more with the emotions, like selling happiness. Okay, so whenever it comes to buying any products in soft drinks, we choose Coca-Cola. Other than Coca-Cola, I would also, if I want to talk about any other brand, then Maggie comes to my mind straight, because it has already, it was in a terms that it was going to crash off, but then it made a comeback, and even today customers are really, loyal to Maggie, and they would choose Maggie over any other brands, and it is
Very
all
true.
possible because of the storytelling and the emotions that it has connected. uh, So yeah, if there's any other brand that you would like to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, Smriti, in the moment you have mentioned almost every brand, and especially before I mention any other brand, I would just want to speak about Maggie, as you rightly said about the bond we have, and it's also that almost at this time before. Even if we talk about noodle or something, we refer to as Maggie. So that is the impact it has had on the minds of people. Look, other brand I can say Colgate. You see, we don't even say let's buy a paste or something. We say Colgate layout. So that is the bond that we have even with the the products which are being used in the very day to day life. Yeah, that has a greater impact. So Colgate again, it had competitors close up, Sensodyne. I mean, they work in their areas where they want to target it, but you also see in the marketing they have this very scattered structure where they serve for every problem that people face into the scope of dental area. But again, you will always speak jao Colgate le aao, yeah, you never say buy me this particular brand of paste, but you say toothpaste Colgate for that instance. So yeah, these are a few brands that comes to my mind when we speak about Connect especially.
And I will also say that marketing is not about, like the advertisements, but it is also about the positioning that you do,
True.
the kind of USP that you create. And USP can be created by, serving the quality or maybe the product or anything, but definitely if your brand is able to create an image in the minds of customers, then you in the minds of audience, I would say, on the first stage, then it will be easier for your brand to attract more customers. Like for MACD, I would say that they already use the color yellow,
Killer, yeah.
and they are also using that joker, that mannequin
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, true,
sits,
true.
yeah. So even from a far or a distance, when you see that yellow color or the M
Yeah,
sign,
true,
you get
true.
to know that it's MACD.
It's McD, true.
Yeah, then there are so many brands which like we are already, like, our mind is very much connected with the logo or maybe the image of that brand, and yeah, from a very distance we get to know that what brand is it.
True, Smriti. And I'm really impressed with the fact that you've brought these examples, which just sets exactly about the topic that we're discussing about. And it's very true, when you spoke about McD as well, the mannequin thing, the yellow thing, the M structure. So you just know it by the distance, as very rightly said by you. So very true. And you again, so it's about food category as well. McD serves as the best example, and we can even talk about skincare products.
And since we are talking about the MACD, I would say the meals. Like
Happy
it
Meals as
has
well, yeah.
a complete
The slogan and
nahi. Let's talk about
oh,
the Happy Meal, because it. Yeah, so since we are talking about the MACD, let's just talk about the Happy Meals, because like, we are grown up adults. We know that in that Happy Meal ka box, there is nothing other than a Mac aloo tikki and some like gifts.
fries.
Yeah, fries and some gifts and maybe a Coke. But still, whenever we enter MACD even today, that a remembrance of Happy Meal is there, that okay, in our childhood, because our entire childhood was around that Happy Meal.
Very
So
true.
that's the kind of bond that MACD has created with their audience, with the customers, I would say. And yeah, especially I will say that no brand is selling because of the facts, but it is selling because of their storytelling. And
True.
with this podcast also, we are not trying to spread any wrong message that facts don't sell or maybe something like that.
True, true.
But I would quote this, that facts do tell, but storytelling sells.
Exactly, Smriti. Like, I mean, I'm really amazed by the points you've mentioned so far. But it's the truth. I mean, facts do sell, but in the later stages.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't see myself. At
It
least
just creates the credibility. Like, it is also important for any brand to show the facts and the statistics or maybe the numbers. Yeah.
Very true, Smriti. Because it's again, as you mentioned, positioning is a very vital aspect. The way it's been created, the perception is created in our minds, right? So I mean, you are not sold to numbers, but you're sold to emotions. At first,
True.
at least in my case, and I would just assume that it's the same in your case as well. So yeah, I mean, very true. And I mean, we can just talk about it because people know it as well, but it's just about the right realization just hitting them at the right time. But yes, I mean, it's with every sector. It's with anything that you're using into your daily lives or occasionally as well. McD, I mean, people wouldn't eat it daily, but whenever they eat it, burger, McD, pizza, Domino's, like it's the thing, right?
Our emotions are connected
Emotions
with
are connected
certain
up
brands.
certain brands,
Like we are
right?
too much loyal with those brands, and we just don't feel right to
Switch,
shift. Yeah.
shift, very true. And with this taking a huge spike, I've seen the new brands, they are considering this as well. You see major brands these days, as much as they are considered about numbers, but they are really very much into the storytelling thing, because they hire influencers with a good reach, and they would want influencers to promote them in a way through reels, through storytelling. And I just spoke to one of the creators, that how does your marketing works for certain brands, and he was like, at times I would not ask them for scripts, because it's my ideas. I would say them, okay, this is my idea, because look, if brands could do it by themselves, they wouldn't ask creators to do it, right? So it's also how brands use creators and influencers. And you just open the reels section, reel tab, and every one reel in the five reels you scroll, you will see one marketing or one advertisement, and it's how it's been picturized into a brand, and how the storytelling works. And I have been in a position where I've been influenced by storytelling, and I've just taken the brand. For example, once I was just surfing for a skincare product, and actually, because I've searched for it, so it just happened to appear on my reel tab. And then the storytelling was such that I was like, I have to give it a try,
Yeah.
despite not knowing
These
the
days,
yeah,
definitely the marketing is playing with your brains. I would say
very
that
true.
there's a new term, if you know, neuromarketing.
Oh yes,
Like brands are actually taking help of neuromarketing. This
true.
this actually works like this, that whenever you are watching a reel or maybe any product, if you're surfing for, just like you said, a skincare brand, if you're watching for maybe looking for any skincare product, let's say sunscreen, okay,
Yeah,
then like from, if okay, you didn't make a purchase, but then whenever, if you are going to any other websites, or maybe if you are just scrolling reels or something, you'll see there will be so many pop-ups or pop-up ads of influencers showing the skincare brands or maybe the sunscreens.
true.
So that's how the data is being collected by the brands these days. And also, as you mentioned earlier about the influencers, that they don't even need scripts these days, because it's very easy for any influencer to show the people that how they are using the product in their daily life, and it actually convinces their audience that if a big influencer is using those brands in their real life, then why not us? Let's just give it a try.
True.
And if your product is really good, then definitely, if the customer tries it for the first time, they might like it, and they might become your loyal customers.
Yeah, and Smita, I would just like to ask this question to you, knowing the fact that you come from a background of marketing and you've had tremendous experience in that field as well. So, how was your experience dealing with brands in particular? Was it the scope, I mean, the scheme of clients, or was it like you had this set of brands coming in, and like, was it the fact that you had this certain fix of brands coming in, or was it that you would have to find clients on a daily basis or something like that?
Okay, so since I was working as a freelancer a few years back, and yeah, at that moment of time, I think one brand, when you start working with a particular brand, they'll give you more opportunities, and they'll give you more, if your work is good, then they'll give more leads to you that
True.
work with these brand or that brand. So I have never worked with one brand or maybe a category, a particular product category. I
Okay.
have worked with multiple brands, and that too having different product categories. So once we were selling we were selling peanut butters and
Okay.
healthy food stuff,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
And the next we were selling what softwares, and then we were selling some houses, like not houses, but definitely the hostels.
Okay.
Okay, so it overall, I'll just say with my experience that every brand, like if you want to create a brand, it's very important that you show your customer that what are you providing them, like how you are really connecting with their hearts. So that is how it works. So For this, there's one brand, I won't name the brand,
Yeah,
but
yeah, true.
definitely it used to sell this healthy products like the peanut butter
Okay.
and the rice crackers and everything. Like their motto was to connect with more of their audience, or to attract more customers by not just showing them that how healthy the product is, but by showing the benefits. Like
Okay.
these days our lifestyle has become such that we literally don't have time for cooking or maybe doing anything. Like we don't want to, we know that how healthy it is to have a healthy diet, but then we don't want to make any efforts. So the brand was actually selling the quick, like 5 minute recipe, 5 minute,
Okay.
the 5 minute
Yeah, I mean, we
products.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
that is
how.
it. I mean, exactly. The very bone of contention of the entire conversation swirls around the fact that you will always have facts, stats, and figures to prove your brand, but any person or target audience is not captivated by the fact that okay, the numbers are selling because you are for me, especially speaking about me, you buy products with a budget constraint, right? Because you would have a budget, right, from 5,000 to
Yeah, yeah.
1,000 or anything
Mm-hmm.
for that matter. So when you consider sportswear, so if I want to speak about Nike, so they have this price range from 1,000 to 15,000 to lakh. So obviously facts will sell. You will have people buying a lakh product in a jiffy without a thought, but you will always have customers who will always have a thought about even making a purchase of 500 rupees. But if your connect is such, if your emotional connect is such, they will give it a try for trust, and obviously then your brand serves the purpose, the essence of it. Then the comfort will sell, you know the progress of the person in the sport will sell, right? Because that will contribute into the improvement of his sport, right? So I mean, these stages of improvements and everything comes later, but when building the trust, and because brands cannot sit on their laurels thinking this will sell, but yeah, emotional
uh,
connect is very evident.
Yeah, because these days, not these days, but for any customer, price sensitivity is a thing. Like,
Yeah,
even if you're selling 500 or 5,000 or maybe 5 lakh, you will think so many times. Like, you will see how people are talking about that product, or maybe the reviews helps for that matter,
true.
and how the brand, like, what the brand is actually selling. Because these days, competition is playing a vital role. Okay,
True.
if you want to buy a product, even for a water bottle, if you want to buy a water bottle, there are so many brands
True,
which are
true.
selling it, right? So to choose that which brand you want to buy in, even for like the prices are so similar, right? So to choose a particular brand, it's very important that you need to like what they are serving on your plate.
True.
Okay, so it's very important that you don't just show the facts, because
Yeah.
no customer is going to go and see on your website that how many total sales were there, or what is the
Exactly.
profitability, or nobody is going to, so no customer is going to see your annual report that what was your sales or something like
True,
that. But
true, very
definitely it
true.
will see that what kind of an impact you are making, or
It is
maybe
had
your
on
product
products.
is like what is the
Essence of the product.
essence of the
Yeah.
product. Yeah.
So yeah, Smriti, I mean, we've had great conversations so far. I'm really glad that we brought this topic into conversation because it's very vital. I mean, as I spoke as well, and as you spoke as well, facts don't sell as much as much story does, and I can just be the witness of the fact that yeah, I have been in that place, and I can vouch for the fact that it works. Stories work, storytelling works, and the way it's been picturized, it's been perceived, it works any day. So for any brands, and as you spoke, as much as people are considered and very much very skeptical about prices, it's also the fact that they have too many options to choose from. Why will they choose you?
Yeah,
So
you
to
need to really stand
yeah,
out from the other
exactly.
brands.
So for you to stand out among the rest, you have to prove a point because
True.
prices are very same, the purpose is same,
The
the
products are also same
in
sometimes.
fact the taste is same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and I even understand for brands is very difficult these days to stand out among the rest, but it is what it is, and in the times of highly competitive market you have to stand out, and in a way that you stand out for a longer period, right? Because you will be taken down in no time, because at times brands figure out what's the error in a go, and they won't even and overnight they will make an improvement or a change, and the next day, boom, your sales will go downhill in just no time. So it's also very important to keep check on daily trends, on how the and what even the trends are, because trends are very important. And if you play in the
Every
trends,
single day the trends change, and it's very important for every brand to run as per the
exactly,
trends.
because if you play in the trends, man, your game is sorted.
Yeah.
Because trends work,
Will
and
survive the market.
exactly, and it's very vital even for influencers. They play in the trends. So, and you have to keep changing it and playing it occasionally as how the trends are working. So yeah, pretty much about the conversation, the whole essence and the whole, I would say, the moral of the conversation was around the fact that storytelling is very vital as much as facts and figures are.
It will make you stand out, and it will make a difference in the market. So I think we come to an end of
Yeah.
this video. I hope that you like this video, and yeah,
Yeah.
you take some
Some learnings
learnings
yeah, I
out of
mean,
this video.
yeah, so if you are a brand, just focus on the storytelling, because I have one witness of marketing as well. She can vouch for the fact that it works, right, Smriti?
Yeah,
It
and
works.
especially it's very important. One last thing,
Right.
that when you are selling something, don't think as a marketer, but definitely think from the perspective of a customer. You will be able to survive in the market more.
Very true, very true. Because when you put yourself in the shoes, you see the wider vantage of things. Very true. So this makes us into the end of a conversation. I just hope we could bring some value out of it. Thank you very
Thank you
much,
so
Prashant.
much.